Good evening. Greg here, burning at both ends, burning on the back end of the day. Just about 11 o'clock Pacific, Sunday, May 6th. Wonderful day today. Great, burned on the front end, got some good work done. A lot of time with the family today. Always love that. And just now spend Sunday night prepping for the week, getting ready to kill it this week. Love getting ready for Mondays. And so tonight's topic is this really interesting concept. So I'm part of this men's team. We get together about once a week and just talk about the things we're going through in our lives, with our marriages, with our jobs, with our struggles. It's just an awesome thing that I'm involved in. And one of the men there has this concept called the meeting before the meeting, and then the meeting after the meeting. And then, of course, there's the meeting. So as far as this concept goes, is, when attending any meeting, there's always two opportunities to network in addition to what you came for, right? There's before and there's after. And so I practice making sure that I can show up early and plan to stay a little bit late. And if I can't do both, then I make sure I can do at least one. And the whole point here is that you show up early, you're ready to connect, or I'm ready to connect. See some of the folks I haven't seen in a while. Maybe there are some folks that I need to say a couple things to, catch up on some things, make some points, remind some people about some things, whatever the things are. And sometimes I'll actually say something to set up a connection for after the meeting, like, oh, blah, 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 how about I'll talk to you afterwards, that kind of thing. Set up these post-meeting connections, and, because every so often I'm sitting there thinking, and I'm going through this life's journey, and just some really cool concept pops in my head. And one of the recent ones is what life is all about, what business is all about. And the way I see it, it's all about relationships, alignment, and action. Right? We meet people, we talk about what we're interested in. There's alignment. With alignment, then you can get into planning, you get into deepening the relationship, and then the end goal is some kind of action. Which is that's where stuff gets done. That's the whole point. So another thing that I think is important for these meetings, and these are just any kind of, this can be a conference, this could be a one-on-one, this could be, you name it, is I put myself out there. I talk to folks, meet new people. I do my best not to be afraid to go up to people and just strike up a conversation, as awkward as that may sound, as weird as it may feel. I'm an engineer, so a lot of the things I go to right now are with other engineers who are mostly introverts, and it's extremely awkward. But I tend to be a little extroverted, so I think I do well in those situations. I like to talk in stories. I think stories are important. It's important to bring stories as opposed to bullets or just random facts about things, right? You have a story, because people remember stories. They like to tell stories. I remember stories, so I bring stories to these meetings, to these folks. And I'm always looking to meet new people. But at the same time, right, patience, and this is actually something I'm glad I mentioned, because it's something I want to bring up. Another thing that I'm working on personally, I really have a hard time with patience. I grew up in New York, just outside of the city in Westchester County, and so I've got that Northeast impatience in me. Come on, let's go. And it can be tough, and it manifests in some ways I really don't like. I can be irritable. I can snap. It's not snap like go crazy, but snap at people, just kind of a terse, kind of curt remark. And so I am working on patience, practicing patience. And so how does this come to put myself out there? Sometimes I'll be at a meeting and there are some folks there that I really don't have a good approach with. And I don't want to force it. So I might hold back. Have some patience. Maybe this is the first of many meetings, so I'm not concerned. I will get the introduction. Maybe there's someone at the meeting that can help me get an introduction, maybe then or later. Sometimes you'll be sitting there and there's a really important person in the room, and let's say you're after the meeting, and there's a whole crowd of people around this person waiting to talk to them. And if I don't really have something solid to say, a solid position or approach, I'll probably hang back and not wait in line and, let's let these other folks take care of their stuff. Maybe I'll figure out another way in, a back door, a side door, maybe the attic windows open or something, and I can get in that way. And so that's the patience that I need to practice. And a lot of these conferences nowadays, there's some kind of app that you got to register through, like the Whova app, I think it's called. There was one recently, I'll tell you in a second. I was just at this awesome event. Topi, Topi is another app. And you register through the app and you see all the people there, and there's another way to connect with people. And that's a very simple way. And so you blast 5 or so people with a, hey, looks like you're doing something cool, would love to catch up, are you still here, blah, 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 that kind of thing. Actually, I recently met an investor that way, and we had a great meeting, so that certainly works. It might take a little more time. They might not be there. You might have to, hit them on the app and then catch up on LinkedIn or something like that. But all that stuff works. I mean, all that's totally valid. I mean, I'm trying to lead up to a face-to-face, right? That's where, with all this technology, with all of what we do online and Facebook and whatnot, I mean, there is still ridiculous value with face-to-face, with pressing the flesh if you're a little old school. Seeing eye to eye, because I see things in people that I would never pick up on the phone or obviously in some kind of chat or email. And I have my own things about email and how challenging it is to communicate with email. But yeah, I mean, as far as, face-to-face, very important, critical. Especially, on the front end of a project or something. That way you're putting a face with a name, very important. But anyway, back to the meeting, right? So put myself out there, talk to folks, try to figure out approaches. And then at the end of the meeting, if you're allowed to, if you can stay afterwards, right? It's all about the follow-ups, right? So, and this is something I learned from my first business coach, Russell Cox. The purpose of any business meeting is to make sure that there's another business meeting, right? That's kind of the whole thing. Is it it doesn't stop here. This is the beginning of a long conversation, and this is this client relationship. This we're going to be working together for a while. So let's get to know each other. Let's not, once again, patience, right? And with some of these folks, especially if you're talking to someone that's a lot higher on the food chain than you are, I try to do my best to negotiate or even get permission for a follow-up. And maybe it'll be like, hey, I'm working on this project and we're doing A, B, and C, and in 2 months from now I'm going to have this thing and I'd love for you to review it, something like that. Or hey, I'm writing a blog post on augmented reality, and you think it'd be cool if I could send you it and you give me some feedback. Make it simple for them, make it easy, kind of get permission. If they want to say no, they can say no, not a big deal. That kind of thing. That's a great way to build a relationship, especially with someone higher level. And then of course there are the 2 magical questions. Can you help me? And then, do you know someone that can help me? And sometimes you go right to the, do you know someone that can help me? Or I will go right to the, do you know someone that can help me? And the reason why is because people love to help each other. It's just this thing. It generates great fulfillment. There's a great piece on fulfillment that you can watch out there. I think Simon Sinek, once again, I'll link it in the description, but about fulfillment and what brings us fulfillment, and it's being of service. And so people love helping other people. This is just a fact of life. And so maybe you jump right to that one. And then if they're a little offended and they want, oh, well, I can help you, right? And then you get that, and then it's like, awesome. So, and then the other aspect of this kind of going to a meeting, being early, staying late, making connections, is you'll be surprised every so often that someone is now plotting to connect with you, and you'll get this email after the meeting, or you'll get approached, or that kind of thing, and that's always wonderful. And so this all leads me to this recent meeting I was at. I entered a pitch competition. I'm part of a small team, and we have a miniature accelerator technology that we're looking to push and commercialize. And actually, we just got accepted to this DOE Energy I-Corps program, which is fantastic. It's going to totally kick my butt. It's 7 weeks of intense customer discovery. Anyway, so I did this pitch competition I've never pitched an idea to an investor. And this pitch was interesting. It was a 1-minute pitch, and you were going to get about 2 to 3 minutes of feedback from this woman named Christina Elwood, this phenomenal C-level executive. She just killed it. I mean, talk about bringing some energy and some intensity, and just, I mean, it's amazing to watch someone right in front of you just slay dragons. It's like, wow. I've been working on this pitch for like weeks, and in like 10 seconds, you just busted it out better than I did. And you don't even know about what I'm doing, like the technology. So it was awesome. And the way that it actually ended up working was not that 1 minute pitch, 3 minutes of feedback. It was 1 minute of pitch, and I was the first one to go. So I kind of got the best treatment. 1 minute pitch, and then right there in the moment in front of all these people, she's giving you feedback, and then she makes you pitch again the way she wants you to pitch, and then again and again, and feedback, and again and again, and feedback, and I just remember sitting there holding the mic, and I was sweating bullets, and but it was the kind of I don't know, growth that it was awesome. And I was doing this in front of all my peers, and actually 2 of the technologists that invented this mini accelerator technology were there as well. And these are very high level people where I work, and so sweating bullets, but it was just awesome. And so thank you, Christina, for your ruthless compassion. I really appreciate it. And so anyway, so this was essentially a lunch meeting, this pitch competition. And so got there early to practice my pitch. I went outside, and people must have thought I was crazy. I was just talking to nobody, but then come back inside, see some people I haven't seen in a while, press some flesh, shake some hands. Of course, I wanted to get Christina's attention, so I was talking to her. It's kind of cool. We both were all black that day, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then of course, then we have the meeting, and then after the meeting, what kind of follow-up can I get with Christina? I was really impressed with what she did. I want to be around those types of people. I want to get more feedback. So, and the coolest thing was she was totally open to everybody, and anyone that was in the room that wanted to follow up with her was no problem. Giving out cell phones, emails. I mean, she was just great. And the cool thing is that she, and I wish I had written some of the stuff down, she had dropped some ridiculously awesome wisdom on us, just in answering questions for some people that were standing there after the meeting. So very cool, great experience. And so just the meeting before the meeting, the meeting after the meeting, networking, connections, relationships. This is all ridiculously important stuff. Check out the description below. I've linked a bunch of motivational YouTube videos that really inspire me. Just shout out to Gary Vaynerchuk, super inspiring me to become a practitioner. The beats that you hear, it's my alter ego, G Money. I've been drumming for years, so if you like the beats, I linked it below. Check it out. I find the beats are really good to work to because there's no lyrics, and it just kind of keeps you moving. So I think that's about all I want to say for tonight. So please subscribe. A big piece of this is me being of service to you. So in the comments below, write something down, ask a question, give me some feedback. I've already heard about all the stuff in the back is a distraction. Don't sweat it. It's kind of metaphorical. It represents all the baggage in my life. Or you could say it represents the fact that I didn't want to clean up the garage. That's another perspective, I guess you could say. So comment down below. I'd love to get back to you. I'd love to help however I could. That's kind of the whole point of this, is that we're pulling each other up, right? This is the journey, and I have to admit, I'm loving the journey. I'm getting addicted to the journey, Yeah, I never thought I'd say this, but 5 hours of sleep is plenty. I've been grinding hard. That I'm sleeping so well now. Months ago, I was trying to go to bed early and get 8 hours of sleep, and just tossing and turning and waking up. And now, head hits the pillow and I'm out like a light, and I love it. So anyway, y'all be good. See you in the morning.